We're here with Entrepreneur Street. We have Clyde Anderson. Clyde Anderson, can you please introduce yourself and tell us what industry you're in and what you do? And then I'm going to ask you some questions.
Great. Clyde Anderson. The name of my company is Financial Life Connection. I am an educator, so we're in the education field. We do workshops, do seminars. We also just create programs to help people change their minds in order to change their lives.
Great. Thank you so much. And welcome back to Milwaukee. I understand you're originally from here.
Yes, I am home.
A few questions. The first question is, what excites you about life as an entrepreneur?
Wow. I feel like this is what I was created for.
Okay.
And what excites me is I love doing new things. I love creating things. I love using my hands and my mind. And so it's exciting for me that each day is a new day to do something different, different challenges, because as an entrepreneur, we know that you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And I think that's one of the crucial things that we have to realize. And so I love that energy that I get, especially energy from being around other entrepreneurs. I call them hot coals. And, hot coals need to be around other hot coals to catch fire.
Awesome. Thank you. Now, before you became entrepreneur, you had this idea of what entrepreneurship was. Is entrepreneurship what you thought it was before you actually took that leap of faith?
It's nothing like I thought it was. Nothing. Completely. And it's interesting because I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur since I was young, but I didn't know exactly what that looked like. And it's one of those things, not until you get into it do you really understand it. From one outside, it could look glamorous. It could look like, you've got this freedom, but it's almost you're wearing multiple hats a lot of time as an entrepreneur. So you have several roles, and you have to always be in this mood of understanding what role you're playing at that moment and that time. So you have to be able to multitask. You have to be able to make sure that you can carry the different roles, that you can make sure that you can switch from one role to another one rapidly. You got to be flexible. But again, you have to make sure that you can also evolve and recognize when trends are changing. And so it's all these things that you have to do as an entrepreneur. And I love it. I love the energy. I love to be able to do those things. But again, it's something that is not for everyone. But I think to a degree, I think it's a great skill to have, to understand, and what it takes, because I think it makes you a better person ultimately, and a better leader.
Great. Thank you. Such wisdom right there. Just two more questions, and I know you have, what do you call this?
We're launching today the Wealth Movement Tour.
All right.
And what we're doing is I created this thing called Wealth, which is the wisdom to establish assets and leverage the harvest. And so you have to be wise enough to know who you are, where you are, and where you want to go. Then you have to understand your why. Why do I even want to get to that place? And then what is my how? How will I get there? What is my plan? So before you even start a business plan, you got to have a personal success plan. And I think that's where a lot of us fail as entrepreneurs, because we don't have our personal situations together, and we think entrepreneurship is going to be that saving grace that's going to make everything better. And it's not always the case. We're creating something. A lot of times it takes time to create something, but we got to have a plan for our personal lives first. So I'm showing people how to do that, as well as to do a financial success plan, to ultimately have that entrepreneurship plan. But then I'm showing people how to tap into their non-monetary assets, your time, your relationships, your gifts, your talents, your ideas, your ambition, your knowledge. Those things, if I have no money, I can use those to get money and leverage them to get whatever you consider that harvest to be. And I believe that in this time right now that we're living in, we've got to stop eating our seeds and plant seeds to be able to feed other people than just ourselves.
Great, thank you. And you got into a lot of the other questions. You already answered them by just what you said. And are there any final tips that you have for entrepreneurs before you?
Well, I think entrepreneurs need to own their space. You need to become the expert. A lot of us don't realize we're the expert in our fields, and so we've got to own that. I think in Malcolm Gladwell's book Outliers, he talks about it takes 10,000 hours to become the expert. That's about 5 years of working full-time, 40 hours a week on a job. So a lot of us are experts and not even walking into that fullness of being the expert. So to do that, you have to do something that makes you stand out to let other people know you're an expert. For me, it was I wrote a book. That book ended up getting me on CNN. I became a CNN financial contributor 6 years ago by writing the book, so it became an ultimate platform for me that I was able to use to leverage it to open other doors. You've got to find that thing that's your thing that's going to help your business grow, to help you succeed. And I think that's crucial, and that's one of those components that I think I would tell any entrepreneur, use what you know to get what you want to get.
Great. Thanks so much for your time, Mr. Anderson.
Thank you.
Best wishes.